Hello, welcome to the 2023 SPM English Language Seminar. All right, so this is a collaboration with Unit Bahasa Sektor Pembelajaran Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Selangor. So this seminar will go on for 4 days. Today for reading, tomorrow on Tuesday it will be for writing, Wednesday will be for speaking, and the last day, Thursday, will be for listening. So for each day, we will focus on the different parts of the exam papers. So as you can see for today, on the 18th, we will look at the 5 different parts, which would be part 1 and 3 today from 3 to 4. We will have a break for an hour so the Muslims can do their Solat Asar, and then we'll continue with part 2 at 5 to 6, and we'll take another break so that everyone can rest and have their dinner and do their Solat Maghrib before we start at 8 for part 4 until 8:30. We might go beyond 8:30 depending on what you ask, your questions you ask, and how much engagement there would be at 8 to 8:30. And then the last part will be 9 to 9:30. Again, it might exceed depending on how many of you will ask questions. Please feel free to ask questions. That is why it is done live, so that you take this opportunity to ask questions that you may not have asked in class, as you are using, not your real name and you are not informing who you are. Please feel free to ask questions and I'll try my best to answer your questions. All right, so let's begin. All right, so we are going to do the parts, but before I begin the parts, I would like you to, hold on, I would like you to know that this would be some of the skills that you need in order for you to do your reading paper 111-11191 well, okay? So reading for main ideas, which is also known as skimming, and then you're also going to read for specific details and information, which will be scanning, and you would also be guessing meaning of difficult words, because there will be words that you may not know the meaning of the words when you are reading, so you need to learn how to predict. Hi Umar. All right, and then you need to know the tone of the speaker. Sometimes you need to know what the feeling of the, not speaker, sorry, the writer, the tone of the writer, the attitude of the writer, opinion of the writer, and also you need to know grammar skills. These would come into play, especially for part 2 and also part 4. All right, let's begin with part 1. Even though I have written here short text 8 marks, there will be 8 questions, but I will not be doing 8 questions. I will just show 2 examples so that you understand how to do this part of the paper, how to actually make use of the strategies I'm going to teach you. Please bear in mind, these strategies are the same regardless what age you are. It's only the text gets harder as you age. So being Form 5, definitely the text is more difficult compared to maybe Form 1. So if you are not Form 5, it's okay. You can still follow the explanation I'm giving to you because the strategies remain the same. Right, so how do you actually read short text? What I've done is actually I've broken up big steps into very small steps so that you understand how it's being done. It doesn't mean you do step 1. When I'm going to show you step 1, like you do step 1. You might be doing step 1, 2, and 3 at the same time. But what I've done is I've broken them down, especially for learners or for pupils who find it difficult and say, I don't understand how this is done. So I've broken it down so that you can see how this is done in detail. All right. So the first thing that all of us must remember is please read instructions. Instructions are very important during exams, or even also if it's not exam. Reading instruction is a skill itself, because when you read instruction, then you know if the instruction has changed, right? That is very, very important. Second, after you have read the instruction, please read the questions, and then you have to read the options, because there would be usually 3 options given. You please read the options. And then this is the most important thing. Why is it important to underline keywords in the question and options? This helps us to focus on what we need to look for. Some of the pupils who are good in English, they take for granted that, oh, when I read the question, when I read the options, I think I already know what I'm reading for. And then you will realize that you might have missed something important because you didn't underline or you didn't highlight. If you don't like to underline, you want to use a highlighter and highlight keywords. You realize that if you have highlighted it, you would have chosen a different answer. So highlighting what the question requires you to look for and highlight the options, keywords in the options will tell you what you need to focus on and ensure that you choose the correct answer. There are also times that a slight change of words in the option would determine whether the answer is right and wrong. And if you don't get to detect that slight change of words because you didn't highlight them or you didn't underline them, that's where you may or might choose the wrong answer. So the next one is then. So you look at the questions and the options first, highlight the keywords, then you go to the text, because the text is usually short, they are not long. So you don't have to really look at the text first, you just look at the question. However, if you feel that you need to look at the text to get a general idea what the text is about, please feel free to do so. The strategies I'm showing you right now is not the one and only, there are many ways, but I'm showing you how you can do it the best way. So you read the text, you identify similar keywords or ideas, because they would not use the same words in the options as it has appeared in the text. That is why vocabulary is very important. Understanding the different words that has the same meaning is very, very important. Okay, so anything related, because you already read the question, you already read the options, you'll be able to underline and highlight certain information in that short text, what you are supposed to look for. So once you have done that, you basically can answer the questions in your own words. When you remember what the question is, as you have looked into step 2, you read the question, you know the options, you basically could answer the answer in your own words before you choose the best answer based on your own answer in step 6. Then don't forget, always remember to reread, because again, you might misunderstand the question and choose the wrong one, or you might have missed certain things in the text. So always reread to check and confirm. So these are the 8 steps that you should take in order for you to answer part 1. As you know, steps 1, 2, and 3 happens very fast. It's not that I'm going to read the instructions slowly and then only I read the question. It happens fast. All these steps actually happens within a minute or 1.5 minutes, very, very fast, or even less if you are a good reader. If you are a slow reader, your understanding is a bit slow, then you may take a little bit more time. Let's look at an example. Please feel free to ask questions, all right? Now, read the instruction. Instructions are easy depending. Please read the instruction. My instruction here is different from the one in your exam. Now, read the text carefully in each question. Choose the best answer, A, B, or C. For each question, mark the correct answer. I don't know what in your exam, it will say circle or, choose the best answer. They might say choose the correct answer, because don't forget, at the end of your test, before you hand in your paper, before the time is up, you have to blacken all your choices at the end of the page that has, like an OMR paper where you have to blacken number 1 to 36. And then the remaining 4, you write down your answers for the part 5, your short 1-word answer at the space given. Right? So don't forget to transfer your answer to the back page, blacken it, and I think you are really well versed with that. You know this very well since I'm sure your teachers have reminded you. Okay, now steps 2 and 3, read the question and options. So this is a short text. All right, we're not going to look at the text first. I'm looking at the question here. Read the the passage is mainly about how to sell a scented product, how people react to scents, and how to produce scents. So if you don't mind, those who are around, what would be the keywords you underlined in this question and options? What would you underline that you think would be important for you to focus on before you read the text and get the answer? Just for everyone's knowledge, there is about a 5-second delay. Sense. Thank you, some guy. All right, good. Okay, sense. Yeah, very good, Putri. Sense. Okay. Everyone wants to just focus on sense. Okay. Any other words that you want to highlight that would help you differentiate answers from A, B, or C? All right, everyone's giving sense. So you want to know, all right, thank you. Sorry, product, meow meow. Gideon, meow meow, I don't know, memory, produce. Okay, so what you would focus on, basically, you want to know what the passage is about. All right, and then you want to, hold on. You want to also look at the options, like A is looking at how to sell. All right, no other questions, so I'm to choose sense. All right, so you would then underline the keywords, and this would be the words. I'm looking at what the passage is about. So you want to know what the passage is about. So maybe is it about sell, react, and produce? Because all 3 of these answers are talking about all the scented products or scents. So I know it will be that. So whether the passage is about selling, reacting, or producing. All right. So then what you do is now in step 5, you go into reading the text to identify similar keywords or ideas related to the questions and options, right? So when you are reading now, because you know you need to find out what the passage is about, whether to sell, whether it's people reacting, or whether to produce, then I'm going to look for words similar or related to that. So let's look at the text. World of scents. It takes a few seconds for a scent to enter your nose and travel to your brain that controls memory and emotions. All right, so it talks about controls, memories, and emotions. Scents are used in many ways to capture your attention. Vanilla and lavender are widely used in spas or soaps to promote calmness and reduce stress. So it's used in many ways to capture attention, all right? And then you use in spas and soaps. Why? Because you want to promote calmness and reduce stress. Whereas our airlines, what do they do with this? They use scents to help people relax, all right? And some companies, they use lemons to do what? Lemon scents to increase productivity. So you can see that the whole text talks about how scents are used to control memory, emotion, capture attention, promote calmness, reduce stress, help people relax, increase productivity. So what I'm going to do now is I already know all this. I'm going to answer the question in my own words. It tells me that the passage tells me how people, how people react or how people receive, okay, react, receive this different sense and how they will alter or change their behavior because of this sense. So once I've answered the questions in my own words, I already got that, right? Then I'm looking at the next step, which is choose the best answer. So I've already said that it's how people react, how people receive, how people change their behavior. So A, how to sell a sentence. They did not say about how to sell. How to react, yes. And how to produce, no. There's nothing written in this text on how to produce. So the best answer would be B. Right now, it looks simple, but if you know how to do this with a simple text, you can do this with a more difficult text. So let's look at the next one. Okay, so you check. You have to read again to check. I know there's nothing about selling, there's nothing about producing, so the best answer would be B. Right? So any questions so far before we try another one? Okay. Any questions, please free to ask. So we'll go to another question. So we will go to steps 2 and 3. Again, the same thing. We already read the instruction. So instruction is only the beginning of the part before you go to question 1. But then when you go to question 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you don't have to read the instruction again. You just focused on the questions, options, and the text. So let's, thank you, Tamil. Thank you, Aid. All right, let's look at the next one. So the question would be from the flyer. So we know now this is a flyer. We know that classes will be conducted at a specific venue. Students would have to prepare their own notes. Anyone can learn the language, sorry, there's an error there, at, not a, at any time convenient to them. All right, so you already know steps 2 and 3, read the question, read the options. So step 4 would be underlining or highlighting keywords. So what keywords would you highlight? From the question and the options, I'm going to just highlight that I spelled wrongly. At in C is not a, at any time. So what would you underline that you think would be important for you to focus on? The flyer, okay, the flyer. Even that also wrong, from the flyer, comma, we know that, okay. All right, flyer, only flyer, what else? Yeah, okay, but what is also important in the options that you want to highlight? Specific venue, yes, maybe. Thank you, Sri Rahayu. Venue, notes, convenient, yeah, exactly. The flyer, all right. So I have 2 errors in my question. One is I have a full stop after flyer when it should be a comma and W should be small and then at C, yeah? All right, how? Convenient, all right. Let's look whether what you have decided would be the same as what I've done. Okay, this one, number 2 here is correct. From the flyer, we know that classes, because you might want to focus on classes, all right, conducted, specific venue, or you want to know whether students prepare their own notes, or you want to, maybe the flyer say anyone, learned anytime convenient. Okay, so this would be some of the words that you might want to highlight. All right, thank you, Arifa. Prepare own notes, good, at any time, very good. Okay, Arifa, thank you. Shafiq, thank you. Thank you, Shankari. I call Carrie, yeah? Easy. All right, okay. So now your step 5 would be to Read the text to identify similar keywords or ideas related from the questions and option. Okay. Thank you. Hi, Haziq. Learn the language at any time. Yeah. Okay, good. So all of you got an idea how to underline keywords. You don't have to underline everything in the options, but just certain keywords that would help you. So let's look at the flyer. Online English language classes for all ages. We are offering online classes for anyone who is interested to learn English. You can choose your own time and frequency of lessons according to your convenience. Just call 1-800-5050 and talk to our customer service personnel. All notes and materials we provided, call today. Hi, Izan. Hi, Pink, my worst. Pink is your worst, right? Okay, so based on that, the keywords that I would underline or I would highlight when I'm reading this is offering. Okay, so they're going to offer classes, right, to anyone interested. Okay, anyone interested because it's English. I'm not underlining English. And the person can choose on time. Frequency means, how many times I want my lessons to be based on when I'm free. Okay, so all notes, materials provided. All right, so from the flyer, now I already read this. My step 6 would be for me to choose my answer. Okay, so some people have given me definitely C. So I will choose the answer by myself first before I look at the options. Again, I will say, okay, this online classes is for anyone regardless of age because they didn't give age who wants to learn English because they want to, interested. So they can choose any time. They can choose how many times based on how free they are. All right. And then all the notes and materials will be given to me. So once I understand the text using my own words without looking at the options, I now will look at the options to choose the answer. Definitely, like someone says, the best answer would be C. Because if I look at A, conducted at specific venue, it doesn't even say anything about venue. Venue is place. There is no place mentioned at all in the text. As you can see, nothing is written here where it is being held. They just tell us call today. They give a phone number, but it didn't tell me there was a place to visit or is it coming to my house. I know nothing. So A is out. B, prepare their own notes, but I already knew that here is written all notes and materials are provided, so B is wrong. C, anyone, yes, anyone learn, anytime convenient, yes, exactly that. So you are very right. I know who have said it. It's Izan, Arifa, Alif, Izol, and I know one person's name I cannot read because it's in Chinese character. Yes. Alex Chua say online specific venue. None. Yes, thank you, Alex. So Putri, thank you. C, Shazwan C, Hazim C, thank you so much. So let's look after choosing your answer with your own words, whether you have chose the correct answer. Yes, all of you are right. Okay, Z, you are right too. So is Lohendra, sorry, some guy. Yeah, and I'm some girl here. In my words. All right, okay. So you have done that, right? So I hope what I've taught you would help you choose your answer better than you normally would have done by just looking and choosing your answer. Okay, all right. So let's now read again and to check and confirm, which you must always do. Okay, so we have done 2 examples of part 1. The reason I'm doing part 3, thank you, okay, Raghavendran. Okay, we're going to look at part 3 because the strategy is the same. It's only thing the text is longer. All right, we have a longer text in part 3 compared to part 1. Part 1 are short text. Part 2 reading longer text, and it's on the same text. And this time you have 4 option multiple choice. So I hope I can continue. No questions. Can continue, right? Okay, let's look at part 3 here. You have, again, read the instruction because the instruction will tell you what the text is about most of the time, okay? And then you skim the article. Now, this time, instead of ignoring the text and just focusing on the questions and options, you need to skim the text to get an idea what the text is about so that your mind knows, oh, okay, this text is about this, right? So you skim quickly. Do you know how to skim? Do you know how to skim? Anyone can tell me how to skim? If you have a long text and you just want to know, getting the gist or a general idea of what the text is about, do you know how to skim? No. Okay. Some girls, to skim is when you look at a text, all right, there will be in several paragraphs when it's long. Okay. So I'm going to share with you now. So when it's long, what you do is you just read the first sentence and the last sentence of each paragraph. Every paragraph, you just quickly just read the first and last sentence because usually the first sentence is most of the time would be the main idea, and the last sentence in a paragraph basically will reaffirm or will tell you what are going to talk about in the next paragraph. So you just look at the first and the last until the last paragraph. And what I'll do extra is I will read quickly the first paragraph and the last paragraph. Okay, but reading just the first and last paragraph the first and last line or sentence in each paragraph is sufficient. So that is what skimming is. Okay, this is different from scanning. Think like author when reading a text. Yeah, correct. You think like an author when you're reading the text, correct. So quickly skim. Skim means, you just skim means go through quickly without looking for details. You are just getting the idea. This is different from scanning, which you would just now we did scanning, where we look at what the text is about, going through, looking at keywords in the text. That is scanning when you are looking for details, right? So step 2, you are not looking for details. You're just wanting to know what is the text about. Then only you read the questions and option, exactly the same like part 1. And then, this should be number 4. You underline the keywords in the question and options. And then number 5, right? Read the text to identify similar keywords or ideas related from where? The questions and options. Sorry, because I'm the one handling everything and I'm seeing a lot of questions coming in. Okay. Somebody is asking, is it already on? Okay. So the next one is answer the question in your own words. Okay, that is step 6. Just the similar like just now. And the last one, step 7, is choose the best answer based on step 6. And again, you repeat, read again and check to confirm, right? So give me just a few seconds. Let me answer somebody's question. All right. So that the person. Okay. Sorry for that. Let's continue. Right. So this is the strategy. What I'm getting somebody saying something here. Hold on. Skim to get main idea, scan to get it, got it. Okay, all right. Okay, so once you have done that, okay, let's look at an example. Read the instruction. Again, you are going to read an extract from an article. So I know it's an article, all right, and I'm just going to read an extract, and I don't know what is it about. If they say that you are going to read an article on whoever, all right, on Ali's travels to India, then you know it's about something about his travel to India. So for questions 1 to 8, mark the correct answer A, B, C, or D. I'm sorry, I'm still using questions 1 to 8 because I don't want to change the number after this because it's usually number 19. Okay, 19 and above is part 3. Yeah, part 1 is questions 1 to 8. Part 2 is questions 9 to 18, and then part 3 is question 20 to 20 something. I cannot remember, 28. Okay, right. So mark the correct answer. Right, now what I'm going to do is skim. Now I'm not putting the whole text because if you know SPM text is very, very long and I can't afford to put the whole text on my PowerPoint, on my slides. So what I've done is I've only chosen a few paragraphs, which is only 3. A 2 long one and the last third paragraph is not complete. Because my purpose is just to show you how it is done. You need to apply it when you are doing everything, okay? So skim. So how do I skim? This is how I skim. I'm just showing you. Last year, Joanne Liu decided to quit her job and start a new chapter in her life. She provides houseplant styling service to help clients fill their homes with greenery. I already know just by reading these 2 sentences that somebody decided to change her career to something else, all right? And then her goal is to bring more greenery into homes of urbanites, especially those who live in apartments and condominiums. Okay, so her new job here is will give benefit for those staying in apartments and condominiums, usually in the city. Urbanites will be in the city. And according to Liu, this could be due to many factors such as species, type of plant, type of soil use, and even where the plant is placed in a home. So something to do with how plants are, I think, because I don't know yet, I'm just getting a gist. So still something to do with plants because she talks about plants in her first paragraph, and greenery is also about plants. The last sentence in paragraph 2 is also talking about the factors about how a plant survive, I think. All right, so once you get that, you just get a general idea, it's sufficient. You don't have to bother about details because you don't know what questions are going to be asked. You need to read with a purpose. So when you read the question and then you reread the text, the second time you reread the text, it is with a purpose. All right, correct, Rayu. If it's the whole text I put is very small and also it take a few slides to put everything up, okay? So now I already know what the text is more or less about, and Liu say her clients tell her they do not have a green thumb and ask her to recommend an easy plant. Again, the text is telling me about her expertise about plant and people asking her what plant would be easy to live, to survive, because I don't have a green thumb either. Now, steps 2 and 3. Now you read the question. You already know the text is about someone changing the career to do a different career that is connected to plants. And then she wants to give a service to those who live in the apartment condominium. And there are many factors that she needs to look into when, maybe choosing the plants or why plants survive in condo apartments. And people who has no green thumb prefers her service. Okay, so you get that. Hi, Kugan. Good afternoon. Right, so you have, okay, that's 19. In paragraph 1, why was the paragraph start a new chapter in her life used? Okay, now in your exam paper, it will not be colored, all right? It will be either italicized or they'll use a quotation mark or they will bold, usually they bold it, all right? Okay, so here you read the questions and options, you have to underline the keywords. Again, what keywords would you underline? In paragraph 1, why was the phrase start a new chapter in her life used? Liu wanted to quit her job. Liu wanted to have a jungle. I think I'm hungry. I ate a word. Have a jungle in a house. Liu decided to learn more about plants. Liu started a house plant styling service business. Okay. So some guy said start, right? What other words? Just remember for B, I add a word. Not only students are hungry for words, I'm also hungry. When I'm hungry, I eat words. Okay, any more? Start. What else? It's I don't know. Eight. Quit her job. Jungle. Learn more plant service business. New. Good. All right. Thank you, Aids. Aids. I like Aids. He write down all the answers, all the keywords that he thinks are important and list them. Okay. Yeah. Paragraph 1. Quit her job. Good. All right. Yes. Paragraph 1 is important actually. You know why? Because you know that you have to look in paragraph 1 and ignore the other paragraphs. Okay, that's why I feel that, for SPM, you are very lucky because in part 3, they'll say in paragraph 1, in paragraph 2, only 1 or 2 questions would not have the word paragraph. Okay, that's where maybe they ask you the intonation of the writer, what's the purpose of the article. That's when they would not say which paragraph because it's the whole text. Okay, any more? Learn more about plants, okay? Can I know how I should call you, the person in the Chinese character? Because I don't know how to address you as I can't read Mandarin. I hope it's Mandarin, not Korean or Japanese. I don't think it is. Okay, so just let me know how I can address you. Okay. All right, anyone else wants to add on? No. Okay, so you have paragraph 1. Why? You want to know the reason why. Why the phrase, you know what phrase is used. So you are going to look for the answer for the reason this phrase is used. Why looks for reason. Thank you, Chu. Paragraph 1, new chapter. What else? Quit, job, jungle, learn plant, house, style plant, styling, good. Awesome. I love it when you list down all the answers. So is it because she wanted to quit her job? She wanted a jungle in her house. She wanted to, maybe don't have to. She wanted a jungle, don't have to. Liu decided learn more about plants, or she wanted to start house planting styling service business. All right. So this would be something. Is it because the phrase was used to show that she wanted to quit her job? The phrase was used to tell that she wanted a jungle in her house? The phrase was used because she decided to learn more plants? Or is used because she wanted to start a house plant styling service business? All right. So some people say A, some people say D. We will look at it later. Let's look at paragraph 2 first and question 20. Because what you do is you have the 7 or 8 questions. Please highlight all the keywords first before you go back to the text. Okay. So in paragraph 2, what did Liu learn during the past year? So what did she, I hope she, right? Yeah, what did she learn during the past year? Did she learn about landscaping and farming? Did she learn only specific types of plants can survive outdoors? Did she learn clients like small plants that live under canopies of big plants? Or did she learn urbanites who live in apartments and condominiums want plants in their house? So again, what keywords would you underline for question 20? What keywords would you underline in question 20? We think, okay. So Lohan has given the answer A for number 19. Aizat said learn. Boba 62. We must like boba tea, I think. In paragraph 2, during the past year, Hazim said paragraph 2, what? Correct. You want to know what. Okay, that means specific thing. Okay, Kugan says learn. It said paragraph 2, learn during past year, landscaping, farming, specific plant, outdoors, good. Carrie says paragraph 2, good. Uma says learn past year. Sankari says what. Naki, what, learn past year, okay, good. Some guy, okay, I like it. Some guy, you are giving me better answers now. Paragraph 2, what, learn landscaping and farming, specific types of plants, small plants, apartments, condominiums. Cikgu pun cuba part P2, you learn landscaping, farming, specific times, clients, urban. Okay, thank you, Sri Rahayu. Aizat, what did Lai learn? Liu learn, you've eaten W, never mind. It's okay. Paragraph 2, what did and learn during the past year, clients, urban nights. Okay, good. So many of you sharing your answers. Awesome. Let's look. So paragraph 2, very good. What she learned past year. That means for 1 year, 1 whole year. What did she learn? So is it about, I did not highlight learned in all this because everything is about learning, landscaping, farming. Okay, specific plants survive outdoors. Clients like small plants that live under canopies of big plants. All right. Or she also learned urbanites who is living in apartments and condominiums, one plants. Right. Okay. What you learned during past year. Okay. Learn during last year. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for your engagement and being active during this life. So let's look. You only saw 19. These are the words underlined. Okay, so let's look at the text. Now read the text to identify similar keywords or ideas related from the questions and option. Answer the question in your own words. All right. So last year, Joanne Liu decided to quit her job and start a new chapter in her life. So this is the word, that the phrase that they asked us to explain why was it used. She wanted a jungle in her house. She wanted a jungle in her house. Does that tell us that's the reason? Who lives in a condo wanted a jungle in her house. It inspired her to learn and understand about house plant. So armed with her knowledge, she launched Wild Oasis a few months ago. Now I'm scanning. This is scanning. Scanning is reading for details. All right, because earlier I just told you to read the first sentence and the last sentence, right? Right now, you are going to read in detail. So now it's scanning. So with the knowledge that she learned about houseplant, because she was inspired from her motivation of wanting a jungle in her house, all right, she started Wild Oasis. So she provides houseplant styling service. Okay. Oh, I gave you the answer already. Okay, so what would the answer be then? I gave you the answer. You already seen the answer. Does the reason, the phrase, in your own words, why did she wanted to start a new chapter in her life? If I understood it, it's because she wanted to start something new in her career. And what is the new in her career? To start a business on house planting style service, right? Okay, right. Thank you, Rohini. Okay, right. Start a new chapter in life is similar to D, right? Okay. So once you get your own answer, right? You choose the answer, and then the best answer will be based on your own words. You will say Liu started a house plant styling service business. Do you all agree that's the best answer, or any one of you feel that how did I get the answer D when I feel that the best answer should be, I don't think any of you will decide A. Yes, okay, Uma, right, thank you. D, anyone who feels that the answer should be something else? Anyone who say, I don't know? All right, some guy says, I agree, thank you. Anyone who disagree or do not understand, please ask. This is the time to ask. All right. If not, thank you, Fakri. D. Yes, everyone agrees that D is the answer. Thank you. Thank you, Fakri, Tamil, Aaron, Darian, Putri, Shah, Sahara. Okay, good. YD. Ice. A, what would you have chosen? I did say, if you don't want D, 8, what answer would you want? I not understand, Darren. Okay, let's analyze the text. All right, for Darren and I. Why the answer is D? Okay, the answer is D because if you look at A, why was the phrase start a new chapter in her life used? Liu wanted to quit her job. She decided to quit her job because she wanted to start a new chapter in her life. So the answer A cannot because it doesn't tell you why. Okay, the quitting of a job is the result of her wanting to start a new chapter in her life. Okay, now she wanted a jungle in her house. No, because she wanted to get closer to nature. Therefore, she lives in the condo and she wanted a jungle in a condo, but that doesn't give us the reason why she wanted to start a new chapter in her life. The reason she wanted a jungle in her condo is because she wanted to be closer to nature. So in order for her to understand having a jungle in her house was to study. This is where it comes. To learn, to study and understand about house plant. How can she make her house or her condo that she lives in becoming like a jungle because she loves nature. So she learned. So she learned about the house plants. And then armed with her knowledge, meaning her knowledge now she has after learning about house plants, she started a business called Wild Oasis a few months ago. Now, when you start a business, Wild Oasis a few months ago, that would be the reason you want to start a new chapter because you already learned, you already opened a business, and she wants to provide houseplant styling service to help clients feel their homes just like her home, greenery. So while she was learning, she was still working in her old job. Now that she has already understood, she started her job. She started a new company. That's when she started a new chapter in her life. And why was it? Because she started a house plant styling service business. So the best answer would be D. Because to learn more about plants was because she wanted to get closer to nature. Does that make everyone clear? For those who, like Jen asking, Ed asking, and Darian asking. Is that clear? Because your SPM question will be tough like this. Okay, thank you, Sri Rahayu. Now let's look at the next one. Again, you already know paragraph 2, number 20, you already underlined the keywords. So now you have to look at paragraph 2, which will be this paragraph. You need to know what she learned during the past year. So you will learn that here during the past year, you learned landscaping and farming too. She learned that the small plants that live under canopies of larger plants are the ones people use as house plants. Okay, thank you. Those who said yes, all right. Okay, so you will get confused because I'm going to tell you SPM questions will be as tricky as this, right? When you see that during the past year, you learned landscaping and farming too. So what did you learn during the past year? She learned about landscaping and farming too. She learned that the small plants that live under canopies of larger plants are the ones people use as house plants. So what she's trying to, what is the message here is that she learned that the small plants that usually live under the canopies of larger plants are the one that people usually use as house plants. But you don't forget there is a cohesive device. Again, knowing your language is very important. Unfortunately, she learned in order to see how they grow. She bought a few plants and bought them indoors to see how they grew. Okay. She then realized that they could not survive. So you tell me, can the small plants that live under canopies of large plants that people use as house plants, can they survive? Can they survive? Can they survive? How can they survive? Now, when somebody say yes, yes, how can they survive? All right. She then realized that they could not survive. Why do you think yes? I'm going to read the sentence again. She learned that the small plants that live under canopies of larger plants are the ones people use as house plants. That means people in the condo or in an apartment, they figure out if these plants can live under canopies of large plants, meaning large plants have big leaves and cover up, and they cover the small plants that is under them. All right, they use that as house plants. But unfortunately, she learned in order to see how they grow. She bought a few plants and brought them indoors to see how they grew. So she bought all these small plants that people usually use in houses and put it in the house to see how they grew. She then realized that they could not survive. So these small plants could not survive. Even though people think all these small plants that live under these big canopies of plants survive outdoors, but they can't indoors. According to Liu, this could be due to many factors such as species, type of plant, type of soil, blah, blah, blah. All right. So what did she learn during the past year? What would your answer? You'll be surprised at the choice of answer. Look at A. She learned about landscaping and farming. Very clear? Okay, somebody say A. Let's look. She learned only specific types of plants survive outdoors. Her experiment was for plants surviving indoors or outdoors. So many answers. You got B, you got C. You must be careful. This is a trick question. If you do not know the meaning of outdoors and indoors, you would choose B. If you don't know the meaning of outdoor and indoors, you would choose B. She learned only specific types of plants can survive outdoors. She brought the plants inside the house. Is it indoor or outdoor? Thank you, Putri. It's indoor. Thank you, Farhan. It's indoor. These are examples of SPM. They will not talk about indoors here. All right. And then they will have the word like outdoors here. And then if you don't know the meaning of the word, you will say, oh yeah, talk about survival of plants. Yes, the answer is B. And then you will get it wrong. Yes. Correct. A, you must be careful. Okay. Be careful. So B could never be the answer because they are talking about indoor plants. And here the answer is about outdoors. Yeah, correct. So she learned outdoors, all right? Now she learned clients like small plants that leave canopies of big plants. Does she talk about clients? And then she learned urbanites who live in apartments who want plants in their condo. Do you believe that urbanites want plants in their house? Oh, the answer is A. Really? You think so? All right. Answer is A. You are all correct. Those who chose A. You have to be careful of words that is used in the option. That is why I underlined the words survive outdoor. Okay? All right. Be careful, especially as you're going. Part 1 would not be as difficult as part 3 because part 3 is already the middle part of your exam, test paper, and therefore it will be more difficult. All right. Haziq is confused. What are you confused with, Haziq? Haziq, what are you confused with? You have to explain so that I can help you. Oh, we got 5 more minutes. Haziq? Haziq? Yes, Sri Rayu, it is a tough. It is a tough passage, correct. A tough passage where students need to be careful of words that is being used. And this is only two questions that I did. I didn't do the remaining questions, which I know. If I do, I'll take quite long to finish it. Haziq, what are you confused, Haziq? Haziq, the answer is actually straightforward. During the past year, you learned landscaping and farming too. So what she learned landscaping and farming. I just want to highlight this. Those who are very good in English, you tend to overthink. All right? You tend to overthink. You always think that every question is a trick question. All right? You always, Haziq, the reason why it's not B is because of the word outdoors. Because she is talking about how plants are living inside houses, inside condominium. Inside condominium are known as indoors, Haziq. All right, outdoor is outside the house. Indoor is inside the house. Okay, I thought the answer is D. Okay, she didn't learn. She says she wants to bring more greenery into homes, especially those who live in apartment, in a condominium apartment. It did not state anything that that urbanites, who live want plants. Never ever in this paragraph says that they want plants in their house. What they state here is when they buy indoor plants or house plants, they always buy plants that are the one that live under canopies of larger plants. They bring inside the house thinking that it also can survive in the house. Different meaning. Okay? Okay. All right. So, for those who are good in English, I know how you think because I also think that way all the time. We tend to overthink and overanalyze questions, and therefore you will find that usually those who are not as good as English can get better score in reading, especially in part 3, than those who are good in English because you tend to overthink and overanalyze and over-argue. Agree with me? Right, Maizato. Thank you. All right. Mana dia? Jawapan dia dah hilang. Yes. Right, this is the one. C and D about not about plants. Yes, correct. Okay. Thank you, Maizato. All right. So it seems like trick questions are. Okay, so don't overthink. Okay, so that you would be better at choosing the best answer. All right. Okay. Thank you so much for the teachers who have helped. All right. Let's see. Any questions that you want to ask? I hope that I've helped you for part 1 and part 3 with how you go about answering this so that you're more well prepared. Practice when you're doing it on your own. Share it with your friends how to do it. You just can talk to them and share it with them how you can do it. All right, and then do your best. Okay, any questions before I end? I have 1 more minute before I end. Any questions? You got questions to ask? I hope I've helped you. I will see you soon. Eugene. Okay, I will see you. Okay, very good. If you're all clear, I will see you at 5. Okay, I will see you at 5 today for part 2, your favorite closed text. All right. Okay, bye everyone. Take care.